Period.
Okay. Today we're going to be singing As Long As You Love Me, this time with our voices. And please subscribe, comment. Yeah, no comment. I'm going to sing first.
Alright, go.
As long as you love me. As long as you love me. As long as you love me. Don't worry the pressure. 7 billion people in the world trying to fit in. Keep it together. Smile on your face even though your heart is pounding. But hey now, we all good. We both know it's a cruel world. But I will take the chances. As long as you love me, we could be starving, we could be homeless, we could be both. As long as you love me, I'll be your platinum, I'll be your silver, I'll be your gold. As long as you love me, love me, I'll be a soldier, fighting every second of the day. Strangers, I'll be your home. You can be my destiny's child on the sneakers. Don't stress and don't cry. What we don't need is no way to die. Just take my hand. As long as you love me, we could be starving, we could be homeless, we could be broke. As long as you love me, I'll be your platinum, I'll be your silver, I'll be your gold. As long as you love me, as long as you love me.
I don't know if this makes sense, but you're my hallelujah. Give me a time and place, ironic bullet, I fly to it, I beat you there. Girl, you know I got you, us, trust. A couple things I can't spell without you. Now we on top of the world, that's just what we do. Used to tell me sky's the limit, now the sky's our point of view. And we stepping out like, whoa, God, cameras point and shoot. Ask me what's my best side, I stand back and point at you. The one that I argue with, so like I need a new girl to be bothered with. But the grass ain't always greener on the other side. It's green where you water it, so I know we got issues, baby, true. But I'd rather work on this with you than to go ahead and start with someone new. As long as you love me.
Starving, we could be homeless, we could be broke. As long as you love me, I'll be your platinum, I'll be your silver, I'll be your gold. As long as you love me, as long as you love me.
Alright, so we talked about, but yeah, subscribe. Goodbye.
Subscribe.